Good afternoon everyone, my name is Ornopia Donalyn from BSBA 4B. Today we are going to talk about employee value proposition. When we say employee value proposition, an organization employee value proposition consists of what it has to offer prospective or existing employees they join or remain with the business. Employee value proposition, a set of association and offerings provided by an organization. It refers to the reward and benefits received by employees in return for their performance at the workplace. It is one of the most important factors to consider for any company looking to attract and retain top talent. Why employee value proposition important? Because it's a part of recruitment process as it tells the candidate why they should apply for a job with a company and what's in it for them. It's also a great tool for retaining the talent in companies with strong value proposition usually see higher retention rates among their quality of employees. Let's proceed to the business plan. What is business plan? It's a written document that describes in detail how a business, as usually a startup, defines its objective and how it is to go about achieving its goals. Example of business plan: executive summary, second, company background, third, product and service description, 4, market analysis and marketing strategy. Next, let's proceed to the forecast activity levels. When we say forecast of activity level, it's the process of predicting demand and supply, whether it's the number of employees or types of skills that are needed and available to get the job done. Next is analysis of requirements, number, skills, and behavior. Then, demand forecast and supply forecast. When we say demand forecast, is a field of predictive analytics which tries to understand, predict customer demand to optimize supply decision by corporate supply chain and business management. Then what is supply forecast? Is estimate of the number and kind of potential personnel that could be available to the organization, estimating internal labor supply for a given unit. Next is forecast of future requirements, action planning, recruitment, training, downsizing, increasing, and flexibility. HR strategies. Let's proceed to the resourcing plans. When we say resourcing plans, the analysis of future requirements should be indicate what steps need to be taken to appoint people from within the organization and what training programs should be planned. The analysis will also establish how many people will need to be recruited in the absence of qualified employees within the organization, or the impossibility of training people in their new skills in time. The example of resourcing plan. A amiable housing society has a plan that identifies what the organization will do to invest in staff development through training, mentoring, and coaching, and how it will manage the rest of outsourced activities through contracts and procurement protocols. Sa resourcing plan, kailangan doon yung step by step, yung procedure, kailangan nakaplano kung ilan lang yung kwalipikado employees pagdating sa isang kumpanya. Let's proceed to the internal resourcing. When we say internal resourcing, should be based on data already available about the skills and potential. This should have been provided by regular skills audits and the analysis of the outcomes of performance management review. Some example of internal resourcing of areas which are typically considered in internal factors are financial resources, likely finding investment opportunities and sources of income. And then the physical resources like company location, equipment, and facilities. And then human resources like employees, target audiences, and volunteers. After the internal resourcing, let's proceed to the external resourcing. What is external resourcing can be met by developing a recruitment strategy should be first to make the organization the of choice in its particular field or the people it wants to recruit. Second, strategy should plan the best method of defining precisely what is needed in terms of skills and competencies. Finally, the strategy should be concerned with planning the use of most effective method of obtaining the number and type of people required as indicated by Spielman 1992. Isa itong diskarte na dapat planuhin ng pinakamahusay ng mga pamamaraan pagtukoy sa tiyak na kung ano ang kinakailangan sa isang tuntunin, kasanayan at kumpiyansa. The strategy should be developed as follows. Next, number 1. Define skill and competency. Behavioral requirements. Ideally, this should be carried out by use of systematic skill competency analysis and techniques. This can form the material upon which focus and structured interviews can take and be used as criteria for selection. They may also indicate where and how psychometric tests could be helpful. Dito naman, tutukuyin natin ang mga kinakailangan sa kasanayan at kakayahan sa pag-uugali. Isa itong diskarte na maaaring maging kapaki-pakinabang sa ating mga napili. Let's proceed to number 2. Analyze the factors affecting decision to join the organization. Ang kabuuang mga benepisyo ay maaaring magkaroon ng isang malaking epekto at desisyon na sumali sa samahan ngunit hindi sa anumang paraan. Ang tanging itinakda sa ibaba ay maaaring mahalaga at makabuluhan para sa iilan. Next, career opportunities. Next is the opportunity to use the latest technology and equipment with which the organization is well. Let's proceed to the number 3, competitive resourcing. This will start from an analysis of the basis upon which the organization competes with other firms for employees. The factors mentioned above should be covered, and the aim is to seek competitive advantage by exploiting those that are superior to those who can be important. The competitive advantage is to construct a company must be able to detail the benefit that they provide to their target market in ways that other competitors cannot. And the benefit a company must be clear what benefits their product or service provides. It must be offer real value and generate interest. Next, let's proceed to the number 4, alternative strategies for satisfying human resource requirements. This consists of outsourcing, re-engineering, increasing flexibility, skills, training, multi-skilling, and downsizing. Now, let's proceed to the last number 5, recruitment and selection techniques. The strategy should explore methods not only recruiting in the number of people required, but also finding staff who have necessary skills and experience, who are likely to deliver the desired sort of behavior, and who will fit into the organization's culture readily. These processes and techniques will include the use of skill analysis, competency mapping, the internet for recruitment via data, structured interviews, psychometric testing, assessment centers. The aim of the strategy is to develop the best mix of recruitment and selection tools. It has been demonstrated that a bundle of selection techniques is likely to be more effective as a method of predicting the likely success of candidates.